Do a quick reaction though to Cynthia Freeland's mock draft as well, just to see how different it is, because hers is a lot different in her approach. But just so we can kind of talk a little bit about that as well, man, before we go, to this next topic.
Yeah. Do you want me just to go to the Steelers? Kind of go around.
Do it like this
through the names who are around there.
Yeah. Or actually, do this real quick. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, just go with the Steelers, and then we'll react to why and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So, man. See, I'm not liking this pick as much. Steelers offensive tackle from Central Michigan, Bernhard Raymond. They had him going to the Bengals at 31 for Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. Mm-hmm. But there's a little bit more of a reasoning for hers. She says the biggest strategic benefit would be to fill this spot in free agency. But the highest win share scenario for the Steelers is to add versatility to the O-line in the draft, especially with developing talent, who has already flashed high upside and carries markers showing he can play both inside and outside. I don't know if I like this reasoning. PFF shows Raymond only allowed 10 pressures on passing downs last season. Well, at least that's not a rating. That's not a ranking. It's just only it's 10 pressures.
Yeah.
So
but it also depends on how they evaluate it. But I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Exactly. The people around, they have Matt Corral going at 18.
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean up to 17. Devin Lloyd is off the board. He's going to 9 to the Denver Broncos. Kenny Pickett goes to 11. Did I mention Matt Corral at 18? I can't even remember. That was a few seconds ago. My memory is fading. But Matt Corral
what you doing over there? You was researching for you guys. It's too early. You waking, big soldier.
A guy that you're really high on, Kendrick Green, goes at 19, just one pick ahead of us.
Ooh.
The difference between Kendrick Green and Bernhard Raymond, we might need to trade up a few picks, huh?
If he is at 19, I gotta have him over Raymond. Come on, bro. Like, yeah, that's a no-brainer to me. I'm bringing in Kenyon. I'm gonna move Dotson to that right side, and after that, man, we're gonna roll, baby. Heck yeah.
Move Dotson back to his natural position.
That's what I'm saying. Heck yeah.
Dominate the opposition.
Come on now, and then from there, man, at that center position, I'm gonna be looking to either continue forward with a J.C. Hassenauer. I'm gonna see if Kendrick has improved since he's been working with Marquise Pouncey, and yeah, we're gonna make that thing work, but. Dude, yeah, it's hard to pass on a Kenyon Green if he's available at 19, baby. I gotta go get that man. Come on now.
So they have Sauce Gardner going 4. Who is on the board though is Malik Willis. He doesn't actually go at all in the first round. A couple other big names that go after us. Trevor Penning goes down to pick 29. He goes from 6 in Daniel Jeremiah's draft all the way down to 29.
Yeah.
Linderbaum at.
And see, him at 29 makes way more sense to me, because at 29, you're saying, hey, I think this guy has potential. I think he's really talented, but at the same time, I don't love him like a top 10, top 15, just plug him right in and play. I think that, man, with Trevor, you're going to play around with him in the sense of, do I want him at inside in terms of guard, or do I want him out there at that tackle and think, or see if he can survive out there? Like I said, I really don't believe he's going to be able to handle the speed like that. But I'm sure a team or a coach is going to want to try it. They're going to think that they're the difference in a sense. So, yeah. But at 29, I don't hate it. At 29, that's fine.
The 2 picks right after us, Jameson Williams to the Patriots and Chris Olave to the Raiders.
So it's interesting they continue to have Jameson Williams in that range, 20 to 25, and even Olave and was it Garrett Wilson? They're all in those like high teens to 25 range typically, in that first round.
Got him falling in this one.
Absolutely. So it's not as much volatility with those guys as when we're looking at some of the linebackers, Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean, how those guys, man, in some mocks, they're going top 5. Whereas, like you said, in Daniel Jeremiah's, he has them, falling a little bit more. So, and I'm trying to see, where did they go? So in this mock with Cynthia, she has the Broncos taking Devin Lloyd at 9. Like how we both were talking about. They got the Jets taking Charles Cross at 10. Guys that we both believe that would probably be more realistic.
Seems way more accurate in my opinion.
Yeah. Even Nakobe Dean. Pick, though. Nakobe Dean going at 17. Yeah, Nakobe Dean going at 17 to the Chargers. That's another one where I was like, you know what, that makes sense. But the thing that did surprise me a little bit was the fact that they have Matt Corral coming off the board, but you still, like I said, have Malik Willis. You still have even the Sam Howell that was available and stuff like that.
It's just Matt Corral and Kenny Pickett.
That part really surprised me because I just didn't think that if it would only be two, that it would be those two. So
yeah, I would have thought Pickett and Willis.
Yeah.
Now I don't like our pick because I would just rather take Malik Willis. He's still on the board at this point. Doesn't go in the first round.
Very true.
But let's say Willis goes to 18 instead of Corral to the Saints. And
Are you asking what we take Corral versus this lineman versus?
No. You could throw Corral out of it. I'm just saying now we have the lineman and Bernhard Raymond.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, Linderbaum, Penning. Like, what do you want to do there? That's why I think I'd just go Willis with him being on the board. But let's say he's not.
If Willis is not on the board,
this goes back to the conversation we were having. Do you take the Jameson Williams, the dude you think could be a nice long-term solution for you at receiver, but may not have as much impact rookie year? Yeah. Or even Olave out of Ohio State versus Raymond?
For me personally, I would probably go. If I'm picking between,
is still there too.
Well, no, and I get that. If we're just picking between the receivers of Olave and Jameson Williams, even though I think Jameson is the better player, the fact he's coming off the ACL, I would take Olave just for the fact that I know I'm going to have him right away, and I still think he's going to be a really good player. I would probably roll that. Man. But then I'm also looking at the day going corner from Washington as well. Was it Kyler Gordon? Now, granted, he's going at 30, but depending on what happens with Joe Hayden and Nikello Witherspoon, now I'm asking myself, do we either potentially trade back to get him a little bit later in that first round, and then you probably pick up another second round or even a third round draft pick as well? So like I'm kind of thinking of it more so that way if the board is falling like that.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of corners
this is what Malik
right.
Because you said this is what Malik Willis. Yeah, and this is what Malik Willis being off the board. So if Malik is off the board, Kenny Pickett's off the board. Yeah, and it's looking like how it is right now. I don't have an issue trading back a little bit either, man. Yeah, I could easily see us doing that. And like you said, pick a corner. Because if one of our guys leave or both of those guys leave, we're going to need to upgrade that room as well. That will become more so at the forefront also.
Board plays out how it is, though.
Yeah.
What do you want? Do you want Malik?
If the board plays out how it is right now, give me Malik or give me Linderbaum. But the whole thing with my biggest thing with Linderbaum is how does this team view Kendrick Green? Do they still want to give him another opportunity at center? Or are they just like, you know what, we don't think he's a center anymore? I don't know that right now. And that's my biggest concern. If we knew that part definitively, then I don't think it's an issue. It's like, hey, if we know that they think he's a center, well, hey, give me the receiver. We'll trade back and get a corner. But if they think that he is not the starting center, or they don't believe that they have that starting center, then yeah, go ahead and get Tyler Linderbaum. Let's stop playing games. We know that he should be able to come in and be a massive upgrade over what we've been dealing with.
Yeah. Did you see the Colbert quotes on Kendrick Green?
No.
You ready for this?
Let me hear it.
You're going to love this. You're going to love this because this has to do with Tomlin too. He said that Green didn't play at the end of the season because of injury. Because then it flipped. Then it go from injury. Then Tomlin said, yeah, we just thought his play wasn't up to par. Where we thought like JC was the better guy.
We thought JC gave us the best chance. Yep. And what did we just say yesterday? Can we all get a similar message, please? Can we all get on the same page here?
We saw what we saw out on the field.
Yes, we knew exactly what was taking place.
I don't care, injury, not injury. If you saying that is talking yourself into him being the guy next year.
Deke, Tennessee Titans, Kendrick Green, was he dressed or was he not dressed? I'll answer the question for you. He was dressed.
I don't remember. Honestly,
he was fully dressed. This is the game where you cheered, where they said, it's starting at center. JC Hassan, he's like, yeah, that's what we wanted. But yeah, man.
But he was dressed there.
Yeah, he was definitely dressed because that was the whole, he's injured. And I'm like, bro, he's not injured. He's dressed. He's warming up. He's out there. But they definitely didn't start him. They definitely didn't play him that game. And that was the start of it. And then from there, he just kept putting him on the injury report as calf, but he was always dressing. I was like, all right, interesting.
So in terms of the mock drafts, I like Cynthia's just overall mock draft because I think it's more accurate in terms of where the players are going to fall. I just don't like our pick. I'd go Malik Willis. Yeah. If he is still on the board, you take him. Or even Linderbaum. I'll take Linderbaum over this offense.
Yeah, I kind of like.
It feels like offensive tackle maybe could have a better impact for us.
Well, and it also
could go
depends
JC
on
at center, but then if we have a stud offensive tackle, that could mean a big difference for the O-line.
Yeah, but I guess my question too with the O-line play is this. All right, you're confident in Dan Moore. All right, so you have one side maybe done, but what are we doing with the right side?
We know that we are.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's what I was asking. Like, if you believe that Dan is the guy, then yeah, Dan is the left tackle. But at right tackle, Chooks is an unrestricted free agent. I tell you, he has 2 years of starting experience at the NFL level. He's gonna find a job, you know. And then the next up is Zach Banner, who we know we had a mixed bag on last year, just because he was communicating that he was ready to go, but the team really wasn't giving him those opportunities. So we don't really know what to expect with that situation. But he's still technically under contract. But that's still a lot of unknowns surrounding that situation right now. So tackle could be definitely in play. It really could be in play, man.
I think that's the one time I'd be bummed out, though.
Yeah.
That's the one scenario I'd be bummed out.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
I can understand it, man.
I'm going back to old Deke whenever I was so pissed off when we picked Marquise Pouncey.
Yeah.
You know what? I was pumped about the Castro, though. I think I grew a little bit. I was like, okay, we really need offensive linemen. And DeCastro coming out, he was viewed as like the rock star of the class. Mm-hmm. Like, you actually really want this dude if you're any team, because he was like a star offensive lineman, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like, there was hype around it. Maybe I just don't feel that way about this offensive tackle. That's why I'd be a little bummed out.
No,
like, he's not projected to go in the top 10, top 15.
Correct.
And fall like Charles Cross did in the last mock draft.
Right. Or even a Trevor Penning. He's not even like talked about like that, even though, like I said, I'm going to have to watch him more because no, I agree. I don't want him either, but I would need to watch Bernhard Raymond a lot more.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
Because like I said, I felt like, because he was at the Senior Bowl as well, but it was too up and down for me. And that was kind of like what I felt with Trevor. And that's when I really started to hone in on how he struggled with speed and the NFL caliber speed. Because when you watch the UNI tape, it's like, yo, he's handling these guys. He looks great. But then I'm looking at the rushers and I'm like, that's not an NFL rusher. That's not an NFL pass rusher. I'm retired. I probably could do that. You know what I mean? Like,
and
that's
it was
not that.
Yeah.
Right. And then you put him in the Senior Bowl, and not just the game. I'm talking the practices, because that's, where you really get to evaluate these guys. You start to see him where it's different, speedier rushers, different guys that aren't even quote unquote elite burst guys, and they were giving him major issues. I'm just like, I don't think he's going to be able to hold up out here when you start facing some legit dogs, some guys that actually know what they're doing, who actually have rush plans and know how to be productive. Yeah, man.